Fredericksburg was founded on May 8, 1846 by German immigrants under the Society for the Protection of German Immigrants in Texas. The city is rich with history and charm. This video highlights some of the area's hiking trails as well as all of the area's history and featured attractions we were able to take in during our week there. The National Museum of the Pacific War is located in Fredericksburg, the boyhood home of Fleet Admiral Chester W. Nimitz. The 6-acre site includes the Admiral Nimitz Museum, the George H. W. Bush Gallery, the Plaza of the Presidents, the Japanese Garden of Peace, the Memorial Courtyard, and the Pacific Combat Zone. No visit to Fredericksburg would be complete without a stop at the National Museum of the Pacific War. It is the world's premier museum about the World War II Pacific Theater.
Chester William Nimitz, born in Fredericksburg, was a 5-star fleet admiral with the U.S. Navy who presided over America's war with the Japanese Empire in the Pacific during World War II. As commander of the Pacific Ocean areas, he led the largest naval force ever assembled and won the greatest naval war in history.
The Plaza of the Presidents is a tribute to the 10 United States presidents who served during World War II: Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, John F. Kennedy, Lyndon B. Johnson, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, and George H. W. Bush. The Memorial Courtyard honors the individuals, ships, and units who fought in the Pacific Theater. This wall of plaques honors the USS Indianapolis, a U.S. Navy cruiser that was torpedoed and sunk after delivering the internal components of the atomic bombs that were later dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Japan. The Japanese Garden of Peace symbolizes the friendship that has developed between the two countries following World War II. Fredericksburg's German heritage stretches back over 170 years. We got a hands-on glimpse of that history at the Pioneer Museum Complex. If you want to experience the rich German heritage of Gillespie County, this 3.5-acre museum complex contains superb examples of early German structures and artifacts. Today, this iconic symbol of the community is centrally located in the Marketplatz. The original community church was built soon after the arrival of the first German settlers. Residents attended services at this church, which served as a local church for all denominations, a school, a town hall, fort, and meeting hall. It was the first public building in the town. The Pioneer Garden, located behind the community church, contains bronze sculptures representing the signing of an 1847 peace treaty with the Comanche tribe. This treaty is thought to be the only peace treaty with Native Americans in U.S. history never to have been broken. The Texas Ranger Heritage Center is on 12 acres of land on the outskirts of Fredericksburg. It is dedicated to the preservation of the Texas Rangers' heritage and the role the Texas Rangers have played in Texas legend and lore. Fort Martin Scott was the first U.S. Army outpost built on the Texas frontier. It was in operation from 1848 to 1853. It was then operated intermittently until 1866. During the Civil War, the Confederate States Army occupied the fort for a brief period. Texas Rangers used the site as a camp, both before and after military occupation. This stone building with walls 18 inches thick served as the post guard house where soldiers were jailed for crimes and misbehavior. Army discipline was strict and punishment for infractions was severe, including being lashed with rawhide whips on the bare back and being branded like cattle. Soldiers lived a rough life on the Texas frontier. The Lyndon B. Johnson Ranch in Stonewall, Texas, near Fredericksburg, was where LBJ was born, lived, died, and was buried. You are able to tour the ranch at your own pace in your vehicle with the ability to stop at numerous sites along the way, such as the presidential birthplace, elementary school, the Johnson family cemetery, and the Johnson's ranch house known as the Texas White House. This part of our video contains the highlights of our interesting visit there. At the entrance of the ranch, you'll come to a series of buildings that were important to President Johnson's life. This includes the one-room Junction School where the president began his formal education at the age of 4. If you're a fan of night sky viewing, you can come back after dark for stargazing. The Ranch District is an official international dark sky site. The Junction School provides an excellent spot to look at stars outside of the park's hours. Continue down the road to find President Johnson's reconstructed birthplace home where he was born in 1908. Just a few hundred yards from where President Johnson was born is the Johnson family cemetery. Here President Johnson was laid to rest in 1973. When Lady Bird Johnson passed in 2007, she was buried next to her husband. Continuing through the ranch, you drive past the final home of Sam and Eliza Johnson, President Johnson's grandparents. You then wind your way through open fields with great views of the rolling hills of the Texas Hill Country. The show barn is the center of the LBJ ranching operation. The LBJ National Historical Park is proud to be one of a handful of parks in the National Park Service to contain a working ranch. Ranch hands care for and manage cattle that descend from the original stock bought then by Senator Johnson in the 1950s. After the show barn, you will find yourself at the LBJ Ranch. This building once housed the President's planes and served as the site for community events and press conferences. Today it serves as the main visitor center at the ranch and houses a variety of exhibits. Parked outside the hangar is a Lockheed Jetstar, one of 5 used during the presidency. The centerpiece of the ranch is the Texas White House, the Johnson's family home. President Johnson spent so much time here that it was dubbed the Texas White House. Many invited guests, including foreign dignitaries, enjoyed Texas hospitality, barbecue, and entertainment under oak trees. President Johnson found personal respite from the tumultuous events of the 1960s here. This place became so important to the Johnsons that Mrs. Johnson came to call it our heart's home. The following is a National Park Service recording of President Johnson's description of what the Texas Hill Country meant to him.
I guess every person feels a part of the place where he's born. He wants to go back to the surroundings that he knew as a child. And this is my country, the hill country of Texas. The moons are a little fuller here. The stars are a little brighter. And I don't know how to describe the feeling other than I guess we all search at times for serenity, and it's serene here. And there's something about this section that brings new life and new hope and really a balanced and better viewpoint after you've been here a few days.
People have been coming to Enchanted Rock State Natural Area for centuries, and it remains one of the most popular things to do in the Fredericksburg area. It offers park camping, picnicking, 8.4 miles of hiking trails, a nature trail, interpretive exhibits, rock climbing, cave exploration, watchable wildlife, and a park store. We hiked along 3 of the many beautiful trails located there. The Lady Bird Johnson Park Trail is a nature trail in what Fredericksburg considers its crown jewel of recreational parks. The 330-acre Lady Bird Johnson Municipal Park. The easy, peaceful trail takes you along rolling hills and a rambling creek. Old Tunnel State Park is the smallest state park in Texas. An old railroad tunnel there provides a seasonal home for 3 million bats. You can access the Old Tunnel State Park Trail each day from sunrise until 5 p.m. Entrance to the park is free. Bats roost in the tunnel from May through October and emerge in the millions each night. Cross Mountain is located on a historic marl and limestone hill with an elevation of 1,951 feet. It was used as an Indian lookout prior to early settlers. In 1847, during the settling of Fredericksburg, a Spanish missionary timber cross was found on the hilltop. Early Fredericksburg's pioneers gave this hill the name Cross Mountain. In 1946, the permanent lighted cross was raised. There is never a shortage of things to do in Fredericksburg, and that includes an active nightlife, excellent restaurants, and of course many famous wineries given it is in the middle of Texas' popular wine country. Whether you want to explore the beauty of the Texas Hill Country or simply spend time on Main Street, there is something for everyone in Fredericksburg.